Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. Jim back here with you. Got another video. Been wanting to do this video for a while about old timer pocket knives. I'm a big old timer pocket knife fan. SCHRADE, I'm a big fan of SCHRADE overall. I think they made a really good product. Uncle Henry, old timer, just the SCHRADE pocket knives, just Americana, I guess, for a lack of a better way to put it. I've done several videos, I've mentioned it several times, shorts, pictures of my EDC. That brown saw cut Delrin old timer handle, there's just something about it. I really enjoy collecting them, I really enjoy finding them, I really enjoy restoring them. So I did want to share some of my collection with you guys today. Most of these knives, some of them, I've got duplicates of a lot, because if you're like me and if you're out at a pawn shop or an antique store or a flea market, that you see an old timer's like, do I have this one or do I not have this one? So they're typically, you can get them for a fair price, so you just pick them up. So I end up with doubles of a lot of these, some triples, but the representation here are the ones that are probably in the best condition for what I have in my collection, which is, I know there's a lot of people out there have more than old timers than I do, but this is my collection of old timers I've been wanting to share with you for a while. I'm not going to bore you guys with a ton of specifics that you guys probably already know anyway, the history of the company, so forth and so on. But I've got the table set up behind me here, so let's flip the camera around and spend just a few minutes looking at some old timer pocket knives. Thanks for coming by. Hey guys, welcome back. Jim back here with you. Got everything set up here on the table. Do appreciate you stopping by. Like I said, we're going to spend just a few minutes talking about some old timer pocket knives and fixed blades. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on each knife. If you see a knife on here that you might want me to do another video on later on, just put it down in the comments. If you have more information on some of these, put it down in the comments as well. I'm always looking forward to y'all's positive comments and feedback on these. I've learned a lot from you guys by doing these videos. So before we hop in today, I'm not going to go into my full EDC, but I am carrying part of the Richter challenge. I think this is day 7 for me. The Jack Wolf Knives Gateway Barlow. I've been showing this on Instagram and some posts on YouTube. I think this is day 7 for me. I'm going to do a better video after the 30 days on this one. It's been a great slip joint to carry and a great sheath. It was fittingly so. I got this in a trade with J.O. Had no idea I was going to be getting a Jack Wolf, but it fits perfect. And John, thank you for the trade. And yesterday I had toted, and I vary the knives that's been going with that, but this Buck 112, I think this is just the Buck 112 light. I'm sorry, 110. It's the full size Buck 110 light on this one. I put a lanyard and a bead on that, and one of those black thumb studs. It's a really good setup, you know, and it comes with a nylon belt sheath. And I toted that on Friday and had mixed it up with some other stuff last week, guys. But yeah, that's a big part of my carry, is that Jack knife, that Jack Wolf's knife, along with some other stuff. Some other things I had picked up this last week. I had picked up, I don't think I've shown this. I'd done a short on this today. My son and I, we were in Myrtle Beach with my family on vacation. We got to digging around at a pawn shop down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and this was like down in the very bottom of a bin. And my son said, "Dad, that says made in the USA," and he opened it up, and of course it's got the box and the little felt paper thing in there, and this was in there. This is the model 4935, and they call these handle scales waterfall. I'm not sure what this material is. If you know what it is, I don't know if it's some type of micarta or, you know, some other type of man-made material, let me know. Not seen a ton of information on this, handle material, but it did have some rust on it just from bad storage. I did just a cleanup on it, and it, has some patina, I guess you could call it now, but cleaned it up, did the mineral oil bath on it. It's made in the USA. I'm not for sure who made these. This is a 1991 knife. There you can see, if y'all can catch that, Winchester, made in the USA. If you know who was making these, I just need to look in one of my books, but if you know, put it down in the comments who was making these Winchester knives in 1991. We dug this out. The guy, I can't remember what he had on. I walked out the door with an excellent price on this. I had some cash in my pocket, and I said, "Hey, would you take this?" And he said, "Sure." And he didn't hesitate. I could have probably offered him a little less for it, but you can tell there. It's like I said, it's mainly on these high spots where it's just been setting, I believe, for just years and years. But it's really basically new old stock, minus where I've had to get the rust off of it. But it looks like it has 2 sheep's foot and 2 pin blades on this configuration of a Congress knife. So yeah, this was cool. Got this cleaned up, oiled. I'll probably carry this a little bit. Not for sure, but I don't have but maybe a handful of Winchester knives and had that. My buddy Nate, I surely appreciate this. He sent me this week in this awesome little 3D printed box. Some of these beads were on Brother Dwayne's auction while we were on vacation, and I didn't get to bid on them. And Nate sent me a few. We worked out a deal, and he was able to send me some beads. And just to get this little box on top of that was super cool. Nate, I've got you a package coming to you, and we need to do something on this little box, brother. I'm going to try to get you something else in the mail as well. So was able to get these this week. If you don't subscribe, which if you subscribe to me, you probably subscribe to Brother Nate, Nate Green at Green's Blade Revival. Check him out. He does a phenomenal job. I had been to the antique store. I've got an antique store I go to pretty regular, and the lady that runs the booth had said, "Hey, I've got some knives," and she let me dig through these. I have an Imperial fish knife I picked up. This I thought was pretty cool. I guess that's a half Congress. It's a Camillus half Congress. All these knives need some work. This one is I'm going to try to sit these down. This I like a hawkbill, and I've got a couple of my buddies that do as well. I have a Queen hawkbill, but I saw this. I think this is 45-year model. This just says Queen City on it, if you can see that there. The snap on this, of course, we know about the Queen snap, right? It needs. I've not done anything. It needs to be oiled, but it's got good snap on it. Place for a lanyard. This is wood. I was really tickled to see that. I had never seen a knife like this. If you've seen one, put a comment down in the comment section. This is more or less a Gerber, and there's another name for it. I looked it up and finally found some info on it, but like I said, I've not done anything to it. This is a Gerber, Portland, Oregon. To me, it's like an electrician's knife. You've got a big, I guess that would be considered like some type of a clip point. It will have good walk and talk on it once I oil it and clean it. And then it's got this blade right here that has a liner lock, and I thought the tip was broke till I got to looking at it, and it's a screwdriver. So it's got a liner lock. So I had never seen this. I did find, I don't know if I'll be able to find it here. There's initials here, and I think this says, it's got a date, 12, I don't know if you can see it, 12/23/1975. So it's at least a 75 model like me. So I thought that was cool. I had never seen that. And a knife I was really happy to pick up was this Barlow. I'm a Barlow guy. I've got a video if you want to go back and look on the channel for my Barlow knives. And I had a really, really hard time finding it. You probably won't even be able to see it on this, but I did a little cleaning, a little research, and this is an Ulster Barlow. I'm thinking from the 40s, from what I can tell. I've not done anything to this yet other than try to find a maker's mark on the tang. But it's bone, which is not in too bad a shape. It needs to be cleaned. These bolsters can be cleaned. It needs to be, this is the way I like to find a lot of knives, guys. Looks like it's got a sheep's foot with a pin blade. Was really tickled. She gave me a tremendous deal on these guys. It's almost, yeah, I got a good deal on these 6 knives, and I'm so appreciative. You make friends when you go to these antique shops, and they talk to you, and she knew I was a knife guy, and she had these, and she had a couple bags that there were probably, I don't know, there was probably 20, 25 knives in there, and she let me pick through the 6 that I wanted, so I appreciate that so much. And yeah, so I've got a few other things, guys, but we'll try to get into the video. I do want to mention as well a sticker swap. Want to mention these guys. I'd reached out to Chris over at RadioGeekBlades, and Chris said, I've had these stickers for a bit because he sent them, and then I was on vacation and I was getting back. Chris, your stickers, I shot you an email, your sticker pack is in the mail. And he sent that one cool too. I thought that was super cool. That was in with the envelope. These will be going, I'm going to have to do another bonus board over here to fit these decals on, but this will be going on. Check out Chris at RadioGeekBlades. Great content, great knives, great presentation. He does a phenomenal job on his presentation, and he's a big radio guy. I just checked out one of his videos where JC had given him a radio, and it was awesome. So anyway, check out Chris at RadioGeekBlades. Great channel. Chris, thank you so much for the sticker swap. And Mangus over at Wicked Blades, he had reached out, and I shot him a sticker pack over, and I got this in the mail this last week. Mangus is a newer channel out in the community. He's got does a great job with his presentations, does a great job showing his knives. Awesome decals, Mangus. This will be going, I'm going to cut a new board over here to go on the wall for the bonus board, but thank you so much for these stickers. Check out Mangus at Wicked Blades. You won't be sorry that you did. Great knives, great channel, great guy, along with Chris at Radio Geek Blades. Guys, if you know who you are, I've got sticker packs coming out to you guys. I got behind with vacation and with work, so I really appreciate everybody. So let's talk about old timers. I'm not going to go into the full history of the company. There are some great channels. Rasputin's Castle, I think, has talked about old timers and talked about SCHRADE in general. Knife Delight, they're all about pocket knives. There's a huge resources out there for that. So to the best of my knowledge is the company started in the early 1900s, 1904-ish, I believe, and I think finally closed its doors on its USA stuff. Before that, I think they sold to Taylor Knives in like 2004. So, and a great USA knife company. So, and I really like them. I love the look, I love the feel, I love the steel, I like the history it goes behind it. So let's spend just a few minutes, like I said, and we'll talk about some of these old timers. So old timer was not always made by SCHRADE. At one time, old timer was made by Ulster. And I've got a few of these tobacco cans, and it got me wanting to find the knives. And I've been fortunate to find a couple. I was able to find the Barlow, and a coworker of mine said, hey, they've got an old timer Barlow on Craigslist. I thought, well, cool, I don't have one. So I got to looking at it, and I started putting 2 and 2 together with these cans and with the history, and I got the knife, and I said, that's an Ulster. And anyway, it didn't take me too long to figure out Ulster made Barlow, or made old timer, and it goes with the can, one of the knives that you could mail in so many proofs of purchase of the tobacco with a couple dollars and get a knife. And it's awesome. The model number on this one, I believe, is, I've tried to keep all this stuff squared away, is a 10 OT, a 10 OT. And it's got it on there, Ulster USA 10 OT. But very happy to have this Craigslist find. I've had this one for just a bit, so happy to have this in the collection, guys. They're out there. This one was on Craigslist, which is crazy, but it was out there. And a couple months ago, I was in an antique store. I was traveling for work around the Mobile, Alabama area, and they didn't really have a lot. I picked up a couple Zippos, and then, man, wow. I got to looking at this old timer. I thought, man, it's whittled down pretty bad. I don't think I'm going to pick it up. And then I got to looking, Ulster, USA. I thought, wow, there's the Stockman, I guess you could say, on the can. And yeah, the blades are whittled down. It's an older knife, though. I don't care. I've cleaned it. I've oiled it. It's got some decent snap on it. This one is the 58 OT. The 58 OT from Ulster, USA. So I'm going to try to get the Scout knife. I'm trying to find it in the wild. I've seen them on eBay, but I'm going to try to find that. You know, as soon as I can, it'll happen, and we'll have that part of the Ulster deal complete. So awesome. So there we go. So let's start smallest to largest. And like I said, guys, I've tried to keep, because you can't always see all these time stamps very good. If you see one you want me to do it, try to do a video on down the road, we'll do a separate video with it. But this first one, and some of these are SCHRADE, some of them are SCHRADE Walden, some of them are older, some of them are new, but all the USA models. This first one is the 12 OT. The 12 OT. It's like a single blade, little pocket dropper there. Beautiful little knife, long pull, nail nick. I think that I picked this up in Knoxville at an antique store. Fantastic little knife. This next one is a 108 OT. It's in really, really good shape. Really excellent shape. Little Stockman, little 3-blade. It's almost like a small little 18 pattern case. Beautiful. This one's pretty much in mint condition. I don't have a box for it, but was able to pick this one up. This next one's the third one. It's a 104 OT, and this is like a 2-blade jack. Well, it's not really a jack because it's got them coming out of each. I guess it would be considered more like a pen knife. It's got a clip at one end, and on the other end, just a little pen blade. But it's a cool little knife. These knives hold great edge. This one might be no, it's just a SCHRADE. But yeah, it's a great little small pocket knife. This one, because I had it down here just because of the size it fell into, I got this on a deal with my buddy Chase at Southern Blades. This is the 3OT. 3OT little lockback. It's seen better days, but I didn't have this. I wanted it as part of the collection, as representation, as part of the collection. So got that one in there. And this one, I don't know if this box came with this knife or if I was able to find a box, but this is the 33 OT. Now this one is a jack, a little 2-blade jack. It's got a clip, little nail nick area there, easy open area there for a pen blade. Yeah, saw cut Delrin. Great little knife. This is the only one that I have of this. I'd love to get another one, because I'd like to have another one to carry. Now this one is the 34 OT. This one's the 34 OT. These are really similar in size. This is the 2-blade jack. This is the 34. This is another one of those. I picked up like 3 different models of this on an auction 2 or 3 years ago and got a great price on them that near mint. I wish they had the boxes, but they didn't. This box, I can't remember if it came with, I think I picked this up at an antique store, but it's the box anyway. But the 34, the beautiful little Stockman, 3-blade Stockman clip point. Sheep's foot, great walk and talk on this one. This one's got the spay. Like I said, guys, this one's in near mint condition, and I love finding these boxes. It's cool to find them. You don't see too many of these anymore, and it had some paperwork in there with it. Model number there on the side, 34 OT. So this one is the 98 OT. This is more of like that California clip or Turkish clip, more of a serpentine type design on that. Beautiful little Stockman. It's in great shape. I think I got this at an auction. Spay blade. It's sort of like the 34 OT and the 8 OT and some of those others. Clip point, but it's got that sort of Turkish clip or California clip on it. A nice serpentine design on that body. But yeah, just a beautiful knife. That's the 98 OT. This is the only one that I have of these. I want to pick another one up. This is the 77 OT. This is the muskrat. It's got the same body type design as, close anyway. It's serpentine. Now this is rounded and this is square, but it's got that sort of serpentine type body. It probably, yeah, it's got more of a blocked off bolsters, but has a nice serpentine design on the body. But this is the like I said, the 77 OT. I got this in an antique store at Sevierville. It's the only one I've been able to find in the wild, and it's a beautiful knife, great walk and talk. The blades have been wore down, but that's been a great knife to have in the collection. This is one of my favorites. I've got another one that I carry, another couple of these I carry in my rotation in my EDC. This was one great. This is the 194 OT, long slimline trapper. It's got the inline liner lock. Beautiful, like I guess more like a gun stock type body design. I know a lot of the guys in the community love to carry that. It's a great EDC knife. You know, just it's a great user. It's a great pocket knife to have on that. That's definitely one of my favorites. Now, you know, the 194, the 77, the 90, you know, 34, maybe a 33 is about as small as I typically carry day in, day out. I'm more of like an 8OT or some of these others that we'll look at, and the 194. But some of these smaller ones, guys, I don't typically carry a knife that small. Maybe to church or something like that, a pair of shorts or something. But I really, that 194 OT is probably one of my favorite patterns. I posted a post on YouTube today. Here we go, the 8OT. I've got a few of these. This one's in the best condition. This is probably the one that I got the most feedback on. The 8OT. They have one. Their papa had one. Their dad had one. Americana for sure, right here. Just a beautiful example of a classic American pocket knife. Spay blade, sheep's foot blade, and the big clip blade with the long pull nail nick on it. Great walk and talk on this one. Love the 8OT. And yeah, that's a fantastic pocket knife. So this one is the, let's see, the 94 OT. That's right, it's the trapper. So you had the 194 OT, then you've got the 94. I've not had this one that long. I was traveling for work and was down and hit a pawn shop in Cobb County, Georgia, and found this one. Now this is the box that came with it, 94 OT. This one is just about mint. It's a beautiful, I guess with like a gun stock pattern body. It is a beautiful trapper. Great walk and talk. I basically oiled this, coon fingered it a little bit, rubbed on it, and that was it. It was just in fantastic shape. Probably will not carry this one unless I can find another one to carry, but it's a great representation of the 94 OT. Great pocket knife right there for sure, with the original box. 94 OT. In this one, Trailblazer. I think this is the Trailblazer. I had the name wrote down, now I can't find my note. But this is the 123 OT. Now, I had never seen this one in the wild, and apparently they're going for pretty big money. I did not get the box with this one, but this one is in really close to mint shape. It's basically like a small folding hunter, almost like a clasp type knife, I believe. It's got a place for a lanyard. Beautiful blade, factory edge. I think it's the Trailblazer is what they call that. Great walk and talk on this one. I had gone to an antique store, or I'm sorry, I had gone to a flea market over towards Maryville, Tennessee, and it was winding down. I got there to try to pick up some case knives a buddy of mine had told me about, and was leaving, and this was one of the last booths I went to, and I saw that in there, made in the USA. The guy was leaving. It was hot. He had it sitting in there, and I said, would you take this for it? And he said, absolutely. He was ready to get out of there. I got a great deal on it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, some of these push $100 for these now. It's a beautiful knife. This is a great, I really would like to get another one to EDC it. This is the only one I have in my collection. but this is the 123 OT. A great pocket knife. I don't know if these came with the sheath or not. I don't have a sheath or a box for it, but fantastic, beautiful, little small, on the smaller side, folding hunter. So guys, I'm getting close here on time, but I do want to spend a little bit more time on a few of these. I probably won't go through all these fixed blades. A lot of you guys know about these. A lot of these are newer. You know, we have some here that are a little older, but I love the folding hunters. I love the 25 OT. I've carried this one. It's been in some videos, put a lanyard on it. Was happy to get this. The Delrin was really faded on it. Was able to do some cleaning on it and get it back. This is the only 25 OT I have. I've seen a few more out there, but they're just, the blades were broken and the springs were just so badly damaged. I've passed on them, but eventually I'm gonna pick up one or two more of those. This is a great knife. This is, you can just about drop this in your pocket or put it in a sheath on your belt. Great knife, classic knife. You guys have seen a lot of these. This one has great walk and talk on it, and this was a restoration project, and happy to have that great knife. If you ever see one, pick them up. And this is a great EDC knife as well. I do carry this one. This is the 6OT. This is a fantastic knife. Fantastic. Buck finally, when they did the Buck 112 Buck of the Month, I'm sorry, Buck 110 Buck of the Month a couple months ago, they did a bare bolster down here on that one. No lanyard hole, which would have been cool, but anyway, lanyard hole, great Delrin, great brass on the bolster, holds that phenomenal edge. This has got a razor edge on it. 6OT, great lockback knife. So happy to have that one in the collection as well. So and then we have the 7OT here again, guys. Timeless, classic pocket knife, really similar to a Buck 110. I've got a sheath for this one, and this one is this one's pretty cool. Stainless steel with that plus, and then I've got another one over here I picked up at an antique store. I think I picked this one up at a pawn shop. Picked this one up at an antique store, and this is carbon. This is a carbon steel, USA 7OT, brass on both ends, beautiful knife. And of course it's not there anymore, but this was a Buck, I think 75th anniversary 7OT, and I had to clean some of the rust off it with it being carbon, but just a beautiful knife. And just doing a little studying and some research on it, they were talking about the way the differences you could tell was the way the pins were. This one has 4 on the body on the Delrin, and this one only has 3, which is pretty cool. I guess this shows that it's an older 7OT. And what was awesome with that, and I don't know if this was the original box it came in or not, but it had, I bought this with the 7OT box, which I thought was pretty sweet. Pretty awesome deal. I love the 7OT. Great, beautiful pocket knives. So we're getting ready to close the video. I'm not going to walk you through every one of these fixed blades, but I do want to show you just a couple. This was one that I had been looking for a while. This is the, let me pull it out of the sheath. I just got this one. I've not done anything with it, not cleaned it up or anything yet. Got this at an online auction, an estate auction. This one's a SCHRADE Walden. This is the 165. I think JC had one of these, and I saw it on one of his videos, and I was like, dude, I've got to find one of those, and was lucky enough it popped up one night. The Delrin's in pretty good shape. I want to clean it up, oil it, clean this brass finger guard. But this was what I thought was so cool, was that it was actually a Walden. And as far as I can tell, this is the original sheath that came with this knife. It's original home, and so happy to have that. And I didn't realize that till after I got it on the auction, but it had the box with it. And the liner and everything's not in there, but it had this humongous old timer box. So was very, very happy to have that one as well. This is great. So happy to finally get one of these. in the collection. Guys, we know that they make some phenomenal fixed blades. I got this one as a gift from Thomas. I got a couple of these in a trade with Kalen over at Gunslinger Cal. I appreciate Kalen working me a trade with these. I picked this Coal Miner's Companion up at an antique store. This has got black Delrin. Picked this up in North Georgia at an antique store. So they make a phenomenal, those sharp finger type design with the gut hook and the sharp finger design. They're phenomenal. This one, we're going to close after we look at this one, but this one was pretty special. I had originally, this had the Delrin handle. I found this when I was working years ago at a old Sears store when I was in school. Found it in the parking lot and held on to it for a long time. It didn't have a sheath or anything with it, but this is the 152 sharp finger. And I found a sheath. The stitching was busted on it, so I collaborated with the guy I work with, and he did the majority of the work, no doubt. But this handle came off of a 7-point buck I had shot, a smaller 7-pointer, and I had the horns and the skull cap off of it, and it worked out perfectly for a handle. Now, I don't carry this. I've not used it. I've been tempted to, but I thought that was so cool. That's real stag right there now. He put that on there, pinned it, epoxied it in, clear coated the stag, and then he took the skull cap and a Dremel tool and some tools that he had there and cut this arrowhead out and put it there on the slip, on the sheath, and I thought that was so awesome. So I had that as sort of a display knife, and it's a great conversation piece. So guys, we're almost 30 minutes into this, and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to ramble. It's hard to go through this many knives, and if you see a knife on here that you want another video on, any of the slip joints, any of the fixed blades, put it down there, and we'll do a separate video on it, and we'll try to get you some more information on it. But this is my humble collection of old timers. There's a lot that I'm wanting to find that I've not been able to yet, but that's the joy and the pride of hunting is finding these knives. So guys, appreciate you sticking around. I'm going to leave you with this. Whatever you're carrying today, you don't have to carry it alone. We always know who we can call on to help us with our troubles and trials in life when they seem too heavy for us to bear. Guys, I appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you on the next video.